Hey, we are back with episode 1 of House of the Dragon, season 3 campaign series. My name's Pixel Nick, and joining me tonight is Chadwick the Third. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. Dad, great job on the intro. Phenomenal intro.
Well done on
Love
the
every
intro.
second of it.
That was Chad's first time through the intro.
First time watching it. Yeah. Live
Intro. Yeah, that's the only way to experience them. Just like House of the Dragon. The tapestry is still here. I was trying to remember they made that addition last season, and did they do it partway through season 1, or was it always the tapestry in season 2, and they just had the blood river
through
the stone?
I think it was yeah. I think it was season 2 was the tapestry. I do have to I have to point out the freaking war drum version of the intro music is phenomenal. I don't know if you picked up on that they got the war drums popping off in the intro now. And I have like mixed feelings about it because the drums kicking in at the end is where you really like feel that song, you know what I mean? And it's lost a little bit because they're kind of going through the whole thing now. But I was like, oh man, it's kind of brilliant because we're in the war now. We're here, you know. Now the war drums are popping on the intro song. I was like, all right, just the little touches so far.
Yeah, definitely. It even starts a little less dramatic, right? Because it doesn't have the same cadence as the HBO and then like dun, 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 like Game of Thrones is still definitely like undefeated and captures a very unique time in HBO cinema. But I think I like that we always like that they kept the song. They're doing variations on it, and the intro is obviously different. But I like that they're not afraid to change the intro because I think the tapestry in blood is a lot more appropriate, especially with his sister, the Hightower daughter. I wish I could remember her name.
Allison?
It'll come to me. No, her daughter, who's the queen technically.
Oh, her daughter.
Married to Aegon. Aegon's wife, his sister. Because she like was knitting, right? She was weaving, presumably the tapestry last season. So I thought that was always cool.
What is her name? We're gonna have to get back into the names on the show. It's been a while.
Yeah, she just pops up like once in this season, in this episode. We'll definitely pick it up once we cross paths with her.
Helena.
Elena.
Yeah, Helena.
Yeah. So yeah, I think already a 9.4, 9.3 on IMDb. When I was plucking the episode name, Salt and Sea, Fire and Blood, for this episode, I was going through the images to pick a thumbnail for tonight, and I don't know, I wanted really bad to get one of like the sea activity in this, but they were all so colorless. Not that this one is vibrant with color, but it is Daemon in his long white hair, with some battlefield here. Surprisingly, that's like, to me, the better looking one, and you just can't go wrong with Daemon. But lots of Corlys, lots of his son, which we'll just call Bayek, because that's the voice is Bayek, I'll never let that go. He's awesome. Every time he like had like a sudden, like when he yelled like father in there, I was like, oh, it's Bayek. It's so good. But yeah, this episode, was not shy on the action. We were like an hour 13 long, which is super respectable for an opener, right? Then it shortest under an hour. I don't think we had like Navy's hard, right? You get a lot of Navy action. It's not like a traditional like delivery when it comes to, you get a lot more, I think. It's a lot more behind like a land battle, but a strong navy presence and a strong naval battle is really good. And we got a lot of dragons in here. Overall, I think it's well received. I liked it. It was long. It was one of those where I like popped the slider just to see where I'm at in the show. I was like, oh, 40
Yeah.
minutes. Still got like a
Yeah.
solid half to go. So how to land with
Yeah.
you? Gate.
Yeah. Yeah. It landed phenomenally. I'll say the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the episode was kind of like, like, come on, like I'm impatient from last season, right? But then the second half of I mean, this might be up there as far as top episodes of Westeros. That final second half of the show, we don't really ever see. We've seen very few naval battles in this world.
Right.
They've been kind of peppered in throughout all the shows, but I thought they did a great job, dude. And so as I'm watching this, and really when I got to the end, I was like, dude, that felt like a season, like a penultimate episode.
Yeah.
Like that did not feel like an intro. So I looked it up because I was curious. And it turns out that episode that we just watched, the one we're talking about tonight, was supposed to be the penultimate episode for season 2 before HBO came in and cut the funding or whatever they did last year when they were merging.
Really?
Yeah. So that explains why that episode felt like a penultimate episode and not an intro episode.
That's interesting. I thought they did a really good job picking up where season 2 left off, because we kind of are right on the heels of season 2. That makes a ton of sense. Because it completes a lot of things that were happening in season 2. That's so insane, because like we instantly get back to the triarchy and the Lannister lad that's over there trying to work out the deal that happened late in season 2. And like, there's a lot of delivery really quick on a lot of things that happened right off the heels of season 2. So that's crazy.
And that's because it was written with last season's episodes. That was supposed to be. So presumably this was supposed to be the penultimate episode. The next episode coming up was going to be the finale. So we really aren't technically getting season 3, episode 1 until episode 3 here. But I have so many problems with that, because now everything's getting shifted back, right? Because we're only doing 8 episodes here. So now season 3 is going to be all out of whack as well, unless they took that into account when they were writing season 3.
Well, I have so many questions now. I mean, they didn't short us on season 2, so that means they stretched season 2, or made some stuff shorter, I presume. I mean, I definitely.
No, I think the original plan was it was going to be 10 episodes, and season 2
season 1 10 episodes.
I don't remember season 1. Let's look. Yeah, season 1 was 10 episodes. Season 2 was 8 episodes. Season 3 is about to be 8 episodes. So
I do remember us talking about that. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy that we straight got shorted. But does that mean like they wrote them, they didn't make them until?
That's what I assume. Yeah, because presumably this episode had to take
a
metric shit ton of money. Yeah, and it would have been the perfect. And that was our complaint with season 2, was we built up to this event, which is this episode, which would have landed way better. No, don't get me wrong. I think it lands as an opener for the season phenomenally
just
well.
Fine. Yeah,
perfectly fine. But it would have, squashed some of the complaints we had on season 2, where it was just this building over the season and some kind of somewhat boring storylines through season 2.
Yeah, because they
capped with that.
Yeah, because Game of Thrones, or Westeros, however you want to frame, this entire IP, whatever you want to call it. I like calling it Westeros, even though everyone tends to call it Game of Thrones. I mean, I remember talking about this last season. I mean, 8 is good, 10 is a lot. 8's a more modern format. Um, they typically do like calmer episodes as the final finale. Usually more like storyline wrap up, plot beat, hitting all like some random other plot beats, just like keeping the stories going. Whereas like the penultimates are usually the big, like Battle of the Bastards is the
Yeah.
penultimate, all the good ones there. So that tracks. I mean, but this would have been a perfectly good finale too, because
Also true. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't ready for what happened. I wasn't ready for Jace to die. That was insanely just like that's a good penultimate like death right there.
Yeah.
But they
Definitely.
could have
Yeah.
cliffhanged it right there as well. For the season finale.
Yeah. I was
Um,
just as I was watching it, and it almost upset me when I read that, because I was like watching it through the first time. I was like, oh, dude, they're stepping their game up. Like, if this is the first episode of the show,
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're in for it this season. But it just turns out that that's maybe the penultimate episode from
They
last
didn't want to
season,
spend the money
and they didn't want to spend the
2 years
money.
ago.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
they
that was an
spent it
expensive
here.
episode. They might have looked at that bill and they'd be like, is there any way this will work? We'll do
Yeah.
that later.
Yeah, and I believe that there's a lot more that happens in the book dragon wise than what we got here. So I think they even cut some of the budget around the dragons fighting in this battle.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of dragon activity, though. And we get a nice variety of dragon activity. And I think one of my favorite things, um, it's also so timely because Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced is coming out, and like,
Yeah.
and then also I've been replaying. I've not replaying. I've restarted or I've continued my um, Assassin's Creed Odyssey play because I've been just kind of looking for something to play with this show, kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad because I bought Black Flag like 2 years ago. It's a PS4 title, but the resynced is coming out. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get like the upgrade option, or they're just gonna. I think they're just
I
gonna.
would highly doubt that you're going to get it, because I believe it looks like and sounds like it's like rebuilt from the ground up. It's not like a
Yeah.
PS5 patch type of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'll probably catch on sale in like 2 years of when I finally have
of
bandwidth
course you
to
will.
play it.
Yeah.
But I'm playing Odyssey, and they kind of carry on the Black Flag like shanties and naval combat that you don't have in Origins, in that game, and a lot of this episode like reminded me of that, and this episode probably. I mean, outside of like the Odyssey coming out this year, it did such a good job capturing like breadth and scale of like a naval battle like that. Because there's so many huge panning shots that they nailed. Because
Yeah.
one, we have to see the dragons and where they are in frame and context of this fight, but also there's this subplot in this naval battle of the Triarchy really kind of double crossing the Lannister deal there, where they hired them to do a job and be their navy, when really they're like, yeah, we just kind of used you as like a green card to get into the area, and then
Yeah.
we're just gonna do our thing because we're hunting Corlys.
Yeah.
And we have that great like chase scene, and they do such a good job like spatially like keeping that in frame, because so many times in movies they don't really keep like give you good context and frame of context when it's like, oh, you break off and you follow, right, the main ships or something, they go off and just something happens, where it's like they did a good job explaining that they like sailed away from the battle, went between that pass, and then like were able to circle around and rejoin the battle, and then you can see the battle kind of in the distance as they come between that very narrow pass, and Corlys sees High Tide like on fire. He's devastated. And then the fact that Jace and his wife are still circling around, and I like that we just didn't get like the dragons fly in, torch a bunch of ships, and then they're like kind of gone. Like they did a good job explaining
Yeah.
that this was like a continuous battle, and then obviously the whole sheep stealer thing, which I thought was very good. But I
dude,
really
I'll be
the
honest,
scaling of
man.
all this.
Yeah, Sheep Sealer might be my favorite dragon currently. Like he's
That
awesome
thing is
looking.
wicked.
He is wicked looking, and he's
Got
got
the
like the
huge
most absurd underbite. Yeah,
underbite.
yeah, yeah. I
He's
think
wicked.
he looks really really cool. Kind of messes just pretty much everything up here during this battle, and I think that was kind of the downfall to a lot of the things that happened. I don't think Jace would have died if what's his name? Sheep Stealer?
Yeah, sheep stealer.
If Sheep Stealer had not
Rhaena.
arrived and started torching, like it kind of took his attention away from the battle to try to, wrestle this random dragon that showed up. Also got to be a jarring thing to see just a random dragon you have no idea who it is and you chase it down and your sister's like on the back of it, or your whatever sister-in-law, whatever she is.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? A bogey in like naval combat, like just
Yeah.
unidentified aircraft.
Yeah.
And yeah, you gotta deal with it. I mean, yeah, that's crazy too. Like, I get Sheep Stealer's reaction, right? It's like kind of putting an untrained dog in a dog park. It's probably gonna be fine until it's like not fine, and it just kind of did a good job showing that like it's just getting like bombarded with like these things it's not used to, arrows, fireballs to the face.
Yeah.
Like it's just upset.
Yep.
So it doesn't know. And yeah, Bela kind of comes in, to take care of that. She didn't really much question what this other dragon was. It's, unidentified flying dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason and Bela kind of give chase. And I love the triarchy too, where they just kind of bring out the crossbow. And
yeah, dude, the design, the design of that is freaking brilliant. Like to have an anchor on it to pull the dragon down, like that is, I wouldn't have thought of something like that. Like, let's just kill it in the air, No, let's pull it with an anchor down into the ground. It'll pull it underwater and it'll drown. I was like, geez, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and I like the first time. I think what was it? Just it gets caught it in the
it's
rain.
Like the collar,
in the collar, and it wasn't that big of a deal. But double whammy on the second pass where not really paying attention, distracted by the dragon. Someone got a nice clean shot on it, hit it right in like the fire pouch, like chest area. Already, that's always painful for a dragon. Like it's kind of like getting a punctured lung. But then to put the, icing on the cake, this thing's got a massive anchor just dragging. And that was, I don't know, that was like sadder than Valerian or whatever the blue, the third dragon.
Valerian.
Game of Thrones that went under the ice. Like that was just right up there with how sad that was.
Dude, it to be honest with you, have you ever watched the movie The Never-Ending Story? It's like a movie that came out when we were kids.
Yes, yeah.
There's a scene in there where I can't remember the dude's name, but he rides a horse and the horse gets stuck in quick mud and eventually I think drowns in the quick mud while he watches from the sideline as his horse like kind of sinks down into this quicksand. And it gave me like that scene to me as a kid was traumatizing, watching this horse and it gave me that same feeling. I was like, dude, they didn't really play it up as much just because he landed in water. Like he was like, kind of over it. And then he died rather quickly after that. So there wasn't any time for him to like succumb to emotion over his dragon drowning. Right. But I was like, that's the first thing I thought of, was like, oh my God, this is like never-ending story, dude. Like I must have some deep-rooted trauma, childhood trauma from that scene.
Yeah. And again, like cinematography and just what they're able to do on screen is just come so far. Because even in Game of Thrones, like they use the the darkening like in the distance and the blurriness of the distance. Like they never really detailed, but like this show, like, and they did a good job in season 2 and all kinds of things of giving that spatial context. But this episode just takes it away, because even like they show like it being dragged down like from a distance, not just like from Jace's perspective or from like someone on a boat's perspective. Like they give you the whole thing where it's just more so from Bayla's perspective, on her dragon trying to on Moon Dancer, that's Bayla's dragon, trying to save. And I love that play, how those two dragons, obviously know each other much as like
Yeah.
their owners do, but just snap in the line, like that's pretty obvious. But um yeah,
Yeah, I
it
thought
was
it was
pretty sad.
super. Yeah, I thought it was super cool the way the dragon swooped down and snapped the line earlier on in the episode when it happened, when it got stuck in
Hmm.
his reign, and then her missing it here, like not getting down there quick enough
Yeah,
before it went underwater. Yeah, the whole thing was just super sad, but it was like kind of overshadowed because like I was super sad about the dragons drowning, but then Jace almost immediately dies like rather quickly, and that was up there for shocking deaths for me because I was like, okay, cool. Like I thought he was gonna drown. He's like strapped in there, but he
right.
unhooks himself,
They
comes
played up
up, and
like
I'm
he's
like,
gonna
oh
drown
yeah,
and like he's
yeah,
stuck, and then but he just like wiggles it and then he's out, and then he like finds his board, and obviously he's in a sea full of triarchy folk,
yeah,
so instantly
yeah,
takes that arrow to like the back and to the chest, and then another one to the back of the head,
yeah,
and then a few
yeah. It was
more.
brutal,
And
man.
like, but like, I mean, let's talk about like Jace a little bit, and like him in this episode. He like kind of goes like fanatic on his mother. Like it's in his eyes. Like he goes crazy. Like
Yeah,
he wigs out. He does some very drastic things, telling her Queen's Guard like the logic trip on him. I feel
yeah,
bad for that guy.
yeah, dude.
Um, real bad for that guy. And I mean, this kind of goes to also Rhaenyra, her her tone, right? Because we come right off the heels of Alicent visiting the keep, right? Which also makes sense why, again, now this whole like that was the penultimate episode is just gonna stick in my head because
Yeah,
it makes so much sense. But like Rhaenyra just has like this in season two, she kind of was trying to figure out what to do. And she was trying to listen to her advisors and figure out what to do in this situation. But then Allison kind of shows up with this nice little like ace card and like solution, and she is just like gun ho about it. Like in this episode, like she's not really caring what anyone says. She kind of like has the loose like plot to like just seal the deal. No one really knows why or how she's so charismatic and assured about what this plan is. And
hmm
this kind of plays back to like Jace's season two arc where, he kind of became more important. She kind of had the talk with him like, listen, like you're my heir. Like this doesn't really work if I don't have an heir. But like from his perspective, and probably rightfully so, this also doesn't work if she's not alive.
yeah,
Because it's incredibly going to be harder for someone like Jace to be like, well, now I'm the rightful like king. Where it's like, no, this is kind of like a Rhaenyra thing, and we lose you, we're really kind of taking the cherry off this cake. So I get his stance. But he like kind of wigs out about it like a 16-year-old or whatever might for his mother, I guess. And
yeah.
obviously he's kind of filling that void that Damon's not feeling right now. Is kind of like the male leader in the house. But like this also creates an interesting reaction from her. Like she like cuts her robes, her warrior dress, and there was the after credits. Did you watch the after credit stuff?
No, mm-mm.
They all kind of just chatter about the show. And Rhaenyra's Emma D'Arcy, she kind of explained it like, she's been this like warrior queen, and like she'd probably be really heralded if she was just a male in this situation. But the fact that she's a female, like people just override her own son like overrides her agency here. So it'll be interesting, like she takes on more of a king, and she says it in this episode too, where she's probably just going to start acting like a king. Like she has
I mean, she has to at this point because, I mean, you're right with the removing of Rhaenyra would ruin everything because her entire claim to the throne is that her father appointed her as the heir. If that's removed, that does complicate a lot of things. And Jace is definitely right in a lot that he says in this episode. It's primarily when she tells him about Alicent coming and being like, they're just gonna let us in, and then I'm gonna kill Aegon, and then I'm gonna ascend the throne. And he's like, rightfully, wait a second, like the queen's mom came here and gave you this plan, and you're just gonna be like, okay, cool, yeah, walk right into enemy territory, and you're just gonna hand over your son, who's the king, so I can cut his head off and become queen. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And Rhaenyra is so like gung-ho about it. She's like very like, no, this is the route we're going. But then at the same time, I do think he has a little bit of a immature teenager like locking his mother in the room, and that was hard for Rhaenyra to even deal with because she's supposed to be the queen. She's fighting this war to ascend the throne, and she just got locked in a room by her son.
Yeah.
And I think that was hard for her. And she says it, I think, in the episode, like, I expect it from my council, but not from my own son.
Yeah, in Queensguard, like, what kind of ruler am I if I can't even carry agency over my own Queensguard and my son? One thing to fight with advisors and stuff like that, but absolutely no one is like truly giving her like the free reign that she kind of demands. But yeah, that was an interesting like logic conundrum. He put that the Queensguard there, and it's like, quite not almost. Good luck, buddy. And Jace was even like, hey, your life for hers. Like, he was like, you're probably gonna die for taking this order. So good luck.
But you have to assume that, I mean, like, Jace is certainly going to die, and you have to assume that Rhaenyra probably thought that when all this was happening, like, I'm going to lose another son. Like, he's going to this massive battle. He's fairly new to all of this stuff. I don't know how old he's supposed to be. He's the older brother, right?
He's the older brother, yeah. But he's still very much a teenager, right? For sure. But yeah, it's interesting too, because again, like always with Alicent and Rhaenyra, they still have this friendship, this fondness for each other, where when they fight, but like when they do see eye to eye on something, like everything just kind of runs out the window, and she is like all gun ho, like, oh, Alicent's like, she's gonna do this thing. We agreed to it. Even in that, there's a lot of complexity in this show too, because in this episode, because Jace is right. It's like, really? And then all of a sudden, like, Bela comes in and is like, hey, the Triarchy is basically attacking our blockade over King's Landing. And even Jace is like, see, like, if we were to have, like, the point is to take us to King's Landing, they come swoop in and take us out by, like, the plan unfolds. And then also you kind of like spin the table around, and we go to King's Landing, where Alicent returns, and everything is changing for her as well. All the plans are changing, and she's just like terrified. She's like, crap, this looks really bad, because I just told Rhaenyra all these things that are no longer true. And I thought that was all just like really well handled. And again, Alicent, great actor. She did really good in this episode.
She's so good.
She navigates some really terrifying like moments in the keep. Always subtle with her, but like very, very trapped. Like, Rhaenyra might have felt trapped in this episode, but like, poor Alicent. Like,
Alicent is trapped. Yeah,
she is. She is in like the thick of it.
Yeah, I mean, she is just like the worst mother, like, of all time. Like, that's her downfall, is that she's just a horrendously terrible mother. I mean, she offered up her oldest son to Rhaenyra, and I don't know. Like, do we know I guess we don't know. Is this her actual plan? Or is this like we don't know if it's a trap or not, this original plan that was said in season 2, right?
So her actual plan is kind of what she's like. Her actual plan is to say, Aemon, you go help Cole in the Riverlands, so you get out of here, you don't die. Aegon, you can't really go anywhere. You're bedridden. You're practically half dead, anyways. She probably reluctantly. That was a hard. Like she said yes. If that were to pan out, I would definitely bet she would try to still. That would be the one thing she would change on Rhaenyra is like changing that toward the end as a mother. Um, Not sure, but yeah, the fact that Aemon isn't leaving is a big problem.
Big problem. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
But
because that's kind of the defense of the city is him and Vagar, right? And
yeah,
that's Allison's whole plan is to get him out of there so that there is no major defense of the city and Rhaenyra can have
right.
it easily. So maybe it is Allison's plan. I just don't see the end game. Is she just over it? Like, is she just like, here, whatever, dude, you have the throne. Like, just let these 3 kids live. The other ones you do whatever with. And she's
Yeah,
just dipping. Like, is that the plan?
yeah. Her plan is like the best case scenario, which is always still pretty bad. But it's like to give Rhaenyra the city and like get her to the place where she's at least can try to win. But I also like the high towers and all they're really just scattered to the countryside, which they're going to be anyways in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like her best chance for something, salvaging something, because it's that or like literally her whole family dies, and herself and literally everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I kind of got that vibe from the episode. I can't remember what episode it was last season where she goes to the Kingswood and like floats in that
oh
pool.
yeah,
Do you remember
yeah,
that? Where she's
yeah.
just over it, dude. She's like just over it.
Well, because she's not really queen anymore. Kind of like the opposite direction Cersei went. Like Cersei kind of took that moment and feeling and just capitalized on it and just became more vicious. Whereas like
Yeah.
she kind of, gave up. She was like, yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna go like peace out. But then that's when she had this like idea,
Yeah.
one last hope to kind of save her family.
Yeah. But
Um,
I mean the King's Landing under the high towers or the greens, if you will. It's a dark place, dude. Like you remember when they took power, how the total vibe of the castle totally changed. Like everything was dark and dreary,
prison.
and people were getting thrown in prison and hung in the, So it's a dark place to be. So she's probably just like done with it, dude. Like just kill these 2, let us live. We'll poof out of existence.
Some semblance of a good ending.
But she does have like almost Tywin level in the shadows note writing going on in this episode too, where she sends a letter to her brother to delay the army. Like, you guys just stay there and we're going to have whoever meet you.
Did
I was like, geez, that's
did he like smelled or like was messing with, like, was there something from her that he recognized or like just.
So I think what that was is the high towers are kind of flashy, high royalty. I think that dude stunk and he had like some potpourri thing that he was smelling to get rid of the odor of the guy. Like, I think it just hangs on his.
But was on the letter, like on the seal, he was like,
oh, you're talking. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I did notice that.
It was almost like I couldn't tell if they were trying to suggest that like he knew it really wasn't from the king and it was maybe from Alicent, whether it was like, I don't know. There's something there. I wasn't quite sure what they're suggesting.
Yeah, they breezed over real quick, but yeah, he like scoops something with his thumb and looks at it. Yeah.
If he's kind of like privy to like, this is his sister telling him, and as he's just like, oh, and even before that, he was like, one king is good as another. He's like, whatever the orders are. So yeah, Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, Allison has a subtle but very obviously key role in this episode. And it's interesting that Aemond, um, his sister, like tells Allison that like he's scared. And he kind of probably for once feels a little bit alone because Cole isn't there. Last season, he was conspiring with Cole in terms of battle plans and strategy to win. He, burned his brother to kind of get closer to the throne. He became king regent in his brother's crippled state.
Yeah.
But with his mother being gone for a few days and that being suspicious, Aegon has disappeared with Varys or Laris out of the castle, and he does seem alone, but he knows it's imminent that a bunch more dragons are all going to show up at once, very potentially. So I thought it was interesting that he is scared. I don't know if he really is, but I do take his sister's word for it because she knows things like that. But Allison kind of like tries to Tywin it up and tries to like weave some magic here, but with most things with Aemond, it's much more complex and
It's
darker
complicated.
than that.
Yeah.
And she just like accidentally like opened this like Pandora's box of like his emotional damage. And he like kisses her. And I thought that was a really, really intense, but also well acted and carried scene. Like,
Yeah.
She ought to be terrified. I would be terrified.
Yeah. I mean, you could see it on her face, dude, without
Yeah.
saying a word. During the kiss, she's like horrified by it. But yeah,
I was just glad he didn't like go any further than that. I'm like, please no.
Yeah.
I'm like,
asked to see her feet, like Laris.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Please no. Please no. Let's not violate Alicent any more than we need to.
Yeah, poor Alicent's been through the ringer.
I forgot about the Laris feet thing.
Yeah,
that poor girl. Not good.
Yeah, that was well acted, but again, just Alicent being just a terrible mother, kind of using his fear as her play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
and
she knows that she had this well laid plan, and now everything is falling apart because Aegon is no longer here to be head. Right? He's off with Laris, and Aemond is now sitting on the throne, and he's still in the Red Keep. He's not supposed to even be here with Vhagar. So she's, spiraling, trying to figure out how she can still navigate all this stuff. But she's doing a good job. Like, she's doing a good Tywin level job. Or maybe, I don't even say Tywin. I would say Otto would probably be the more realistic one.
Yeah.
That's how he was in season 1, right?
Yeah, but a lot more exposed. She's really just kind of on damage control and like
panic mode.
Yeah, and just doing good, well executed things, but just not in the greatest like of standing. When in reality, she just needs to like go back to Hightower land and get out of there. But she kind of just lays it out there to Aemon, and Aemon kind of like agrees, and he dips. And at least he plans to dip, and he has to dip because that's the only way we know Rhaenyra is going to swoop in and take the city very easily. But that's clearly going to backfire a little bit because none of the people that she wants to kill or needs to kill are going to be there.
Right.
Aegon's missing. And Aegon and Laris always interesting with the triple plotting where it's like, I'm actually going to tell these gentlemen who you are.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It was wild. Yeah, it was wild. What a bizarre. When he said that, I was like, they're clearly for Rhaenyra. Like, they're making you kneel to the one true queen. Why would you say, oh, by the way,
that's a thin needle to thread right there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess either way, I guess it worked out because either way, they were probably going to die. Like, he wasn't going to kneel for Rhaenyra. And once they found out that it was Aegon, they're probably going to die too. But he swings it in a way of being like, we're worth way more money alive than if you just return our dead bodies. But I have questions about
Not
Aegon.
true though,
And
because I think Rhaenyra would take their dead bodies all the same. Like that checks the
oh
box the
yeah,
same for her. She has no use for
yeah,
them alive. I
yeah,
don't think she has any preference to do it herself.
yeah. No need. Yeah, no need. And it also would be kind of, if she finds that out, she might assume that Allison was lying this whole time because he's outside of the Red Keep, like he escaped, like he's going
Yeah.
trying to go into hiding, and if they get caught, yeah, that'd be interesting to see if what happens if they take them to Rhaenyra, where her mind goes on that, because she's gonna be like, why are you, like, your mom came here and said that I could come
Yeah.
and cut your head off at the Red Keep, but you're not at the Red Keep. So but so I have a question about Aegon, and specifically the throne. So he abandons the throne, right? And Aemond is kind of taking that role over. How does that work? Like, if you abandon it and he comes back eventually, like, is he still king right now?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Aemon's like the acting king?
Yeah. It's kind of like yeah, it's definitely like that. So Aegon is the king for as long as he lives. And he may go in, so in his degraded state, they do name an acting king, Regent, which became Aemond. But when presumably the king is MIA, not confirmed dead, um, he's just more, he can become acting king. He's like, we can just assume he's dead and I'm effectively king until he shows back up. So
Yeah.
the same idea of like, they had his crown with him and like that's how they proved it.
Right.
Yeah, if he gets walked in the door, tomorrow, like of course, like Eamon's gonna have an issue on claiming it there, but no one else has a better argument against Eamon at the moment because it's like, well, where is he? Um,
Right. Right.
because I guess in one sense, if they like all agreed that Eamon was gonna go into hiding, it would be a much more less of a play for Eamon because then he would be like, I'm just like literally acting king, like he's still out there. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
But he can make the claim like he might be dead.
He might be. Yeah.
So
As far as they know.
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit more in charge than I would be if he was like planned missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I was just curious about that because I mean, Aemon being up on that throne is kind of scary
oh, it's terrifying.
for this world for sure, because he is just totally unhinged. I don't want to say totally unhinged. He's calculated, but in a very unhinged way,
Well, and
I mean, he did try to kill Aegon, right?
I was gonna text you. But that's also why I checked first if you had watched it yet, and I just wanted to be like these damn kids in this show, but it's also like accurate. Like what happens when you give a bunch of
Kids
children access
out.
to
Yeah.
like super weapons in medieval times,
Yeah.
let alone like people were all fired up last season about giving a bunch of bastards and
Yeah.
non-royals access to dragons. So all of a sudden, like, I mean, I trust them more than these children at this point to wield these dragons. Because
Some of them. I don't know if I trust the one dude. Like he's
the
a hot
drunk,
mess. Yeah, the drunk is a hot mess.
yeah,
But the blacksmith and Bayek's brother.
yeah,
Whatever his name is.
Alan's brother.
Alan's brother. Yeah.
I mean, but 2 out of 3, that's still better than like so far. I feel like all the children are like 8 out of 10 for being shitty stewards of their dragons. I mean, Bela, she's probably like good. She has a head on her shoulders. Jace lost his mind, did a bunch of dumb stuff. Poor Bela, or poor Reyna, with an Rheana, right? Not to be confused with like her grandmother, which I think is the same name as her grandmother. But like, last season she just wanted a dragon. She was the only one without a dragon. So she wanders off and finds sheep stealer, which makes so much sense that this is the penultimate episode of season 2, because that like completely completes that loop, her quest in the Vale to go
Yeah.
find a dragon. Like
Yep.
we start off with she goes and like that's literally the first thing that we see. Like
Yeah.
it's sheep stealer, which is also
Yeah.
really cool. But
Yeah.
that
Definitely.
ended horribly. Like she was like, "Let's go save the day." Nope.
Yeah, I will say that I loved this when they did it with Vagar. When Jace's brother got killed, I can't remember his name. The inability for these kids to even control these dragons, I think, has been well played in this series. Like they're still kids. Vagar was totally out of control when he killed the younger brother at Storm's End or wherever they were.
Yep.
And we get the same thing here where she cannot control him. Like he's a wild dragon. It's not like it's totally uncontrolled. And you're right. Like he's getting hit with a bunch of stuff he probably hasn't seen in who knows how long,
what's
you
happening.
know? Yeah, he has no idea what's happening. It just hurts. So he's just, he doesn't know who's who. That's why he's hitting both ships.
I mean, if
like
you put a collar on a wild dog and took it to the mall,
yeah,
like it's gonna bite somebody. Yeah. It's gonna bite you. Like it's not gonna go well.
Right.
Maybe not wild dog. Who knows? But like, yeah, it's just not gonna go well. That was all.
I enjoy that they're using it as like these things are not like the end all be all weapon for these kids. Like if they can't control them, they do more harm than good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty bad enough that like, when a dragon torches the enemy ship, you're like, oh heck yeah, like that's like a nice torch it out, but like just as easily you could just torch one of your own ships.
Yeah, yep.
So the Battle of the Gullet, I think is definitely a sign of the times. Like there is going to be like no winners in any of these battles. Like everyone's just going to lose. And there's really no coming out on top.
And if you go back to I think it might have even been the first episode during the tournament, Rhaenys says something about like none of these men have ever seen true war, and you're kind of seeing it play out through this war. It's like just chaos, you know what I mean? It's just chaos. It's just a bunch of peacetime knights starting a war, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I guess it's interesting too because we have a weird blend where we have people like Daemon, very battle hardened. We have people like Corlys, very battle hardened, who are these very experienced individuals who have fought many wars and fights, even with the Triarchy. And what's her name? Sharako, the Triarchy leader. They're all very capable and very precise and calculating and very effective. But then like on the exact same coin, we have the inverse of that, the inexperienced and devastating band of children.
Yeah.
Trying to play big people games.
Yep.
So all that to kind of like loop back to like obviously the dragon situation at the Gullet was horrible and devastating, helpful but not helpful at all. And yeah, Jace just getting sniped out was devastatingly sad. But the subplot in all of that was this Sharako and Corlys showdown, where love how they framed that all up. Like even they did it in two different ways. There was like in the Battle of the Gullet, like you have Corlys' ship like rolling through, just being like the mainline ship, just like taking stuff out. But then also you have Sharako's ship doing the same thing, and they do shots where you can see both of them, so like they're in the vicinity of each other. But then like when they're on the deck later, like they are fighting, and they do a good, I think a very I liked how organic and real that was, because usually they jump a little too quickly in my opinion when two mainline characters get on the deck and they like see each other, everyone just stops attacking them. They had to do a lot of fighting to get to each other. Even when they did fighting, it didn't last too long. So like, I don't know, I really enjoyed how realistic all of this was like, this is a pretty chaotic battle. And it's not just like this magical duel on the deck between these two. It's very interrupted. It's very chaotic. It doesn't really go anywhere, and it doesn't end well for either of them.
Yeah, I can't stand her character in the slightest bit. I couldn't stand her last season. I certainly couldn't stand her here. So I'm so happy that she got a dagger to the throat at the end of this episode.
Alan's vicious, man.
He
That dude
is. He
play no
is.
games.
Yeah, his little leap down to her. I was like, okay, this he's not playing, But he's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to show his dad, like, hey, I can be more to you than just the first mate.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good first mate, and that's kind of the only thing he's been able to own is just be like the best first mate. And I like the moment where like they're navigating the like narrow passageway, and ultimately Chorus is trying to like tell the driver like how to do it. And he's like, "Here, let me do it, bud."
Yeah.
And like they all he looks back at his day, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's the guy." Like,
yeah,
he knows what he's doing. But yeah, his dad opening up to him a little bit there at the beginning, the calm before the storm, where it's like he's like, yeah, 30 years can't really do anything to repair that, bud, but we can start maybe somewhere. Yeah, and I don't think he's all about it, but obviously that's seated in his mind throughout this battle. But he does such a good job at staying on task too. Like that's why he is a great first mate. Because like even when his dad's like, "My castle, like it's burning," just like what's her face said it would really kind of mess with his head. Helen kind of doubled down and was like, "Yeah, great, but like we need to win a fight here." So that was all really well done.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Like the Lannister, like trying to talk to her during the battle, and she's pretty much like, "Dude, we don't care about your war. I'm not here to win your war for you. Like we're here for him."
Off the jump.
Yeah, off the jump, and yeah, the whole chase scene was pretty cool. I thought the whole plan that Corlys has was that he knows how to get through there. They don't. And they end up getting through there, which I was like, oh, that's a cool little twist. Like she's just as capable as he is.
Much smaller ship, and she dumped all the soldiers off her ship.
Dude, yeah. Just yeeting the Lannister soldiers over the edge.
I assume Tylan survives that. Like he didn't get killed. He just got tossed overboard.
Yeah.
The same way Corlys survives this as well. She got a knife to the throat. I can't see Tylan going out that shallowly.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, his brother. Who was his brother? His brother got. I mean, his head
did.
was. Yeah, his brother's dead, and he wasn't as big of a character
too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. All of that was all just so good. And Alan's just like he's just a fighter. Down in the water, back up out of the water. He had like an extended like fight with just some random triarchy dude down in the water. They did a lot there. I liked how they rammed the ship. That's very, very Odyssey, right? They kind of had a trimane going there, or however you kind of say that, versus the like medieval time galleon style, which I thought was really interesting.
Yep.
So a lot of just like fun naval mechanics going on there. Bring out the oars, set the sails. Like I was like very much so like Odyssey, Odyssey. Like they do a lot of oar action in there versus when you set the sail and you're flying and you're going fast.
I think I mean, well, we've only had like a couple naval battles, right? In Game of Thrones, like maybe 2.
We got the first really I think the naval battle we thought we would get in season 1. We got the whole like you wake up and they're at the end type thing that they did with Tyrion and the Blackfire Blackwater Bay, where it's like half a battle and then like Tyrion gets like knocked out and then it's over and you're in cleanup mode. That's what they did to us the first time. We thought we would get a decent naval battle, and then we just kind of jumped to Damon like just killing people on the beach, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably up there for the best naval battle of this entire universe so far. Just the way that everything pans out. I mean, it is gas pedal to the floor. Once those bells ring, the whole part of that episode is I thought it was phenomenal. And there's
Yeah.
just so many different moving parts and a lot of character moments in those moving parts that were really well crafted from beginning to end. So yeah, it's like a 10 out of 10. This whole sequence for me, I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, this would have been awesome last season. Like, this would have been awesome.
I like that it had no definitive start or end either. Like, obviously, like there, a lot was happening with just like Corliss and Alan like having their conversation, right? The bells ring, but like they sail away, have this like subplot chase, but like the battle's still going on. The dragons are still doing their thing. Then they circle around and like, there's High Tide on fire, but then like, we get part 2 of the dragons, Dragon on Dragons. And even like as they kind of end there, like that naval battle is still going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Like that is just a shit show to navigate. Yep. Like I don't know when you like everyone just kind of eventually sails
when everybody
away,
quits,
or
yeah,
everyone just is done. Because like there's still the ones that shot down Jace, and they're all like, yeah, like they
right.
had a good time. They just sank a dragon and killed its rider.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I was so impressed with that. The one gripe I do have, and I was really confused with, is we know there's 2 or 3 doors on Rhaenyra's chambers. Why couldn't she just go out the back door that was in the scene? We even saw it in the scene. And I thought it looped around, like it was the same like corridor loop, because in season 2 they used it for something. I remember them.
Yes.
Like she went out.
We'll just assume that Jace went over to the other guard and gave him the same spiel before he dipped out.
She didn't even try the other door. Yeah, I was so confused. I'm like, there's not only one way out of this room. I know. Right. I'm not just assuming that. I know it because so that kind of irked me, where I was like, you're the queen. Like, you can get out of this room if you really wanted to.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what kind of what this is going to do to Rhaenyra, because she was pretty bent out of shape over the last one that got killed. And she still I think she still has 3 kids, right? Her kids with Daemon. But these are like all her older kids are dead, correct? Like, they're still not babies, but they're still like children.
She had her 2 kids with was he a Hightower? What was he? Or he was just a guard. He was a king's guard.
Oh yeah. Well, isn't that Jason?
Yeah,
that's Jason. Whatever his
Jason, his younger brother, that got snapped by Vhagar. Yeah, but those are. Does she have kids with Daemon?
Yeah, she does. She does. I can't remember how many though.
But then Daemon has his 2 daughters.
His 2 daughters
with his previous wife,
mm-hmm.
Baela and Rhaena.
I do want.
She does have a baby. She has at least 1.
Yeah, she's definitely got at least 1. I think she has 3, but I could be wrong. I do want to go back to the scene of, is it Ormond Hightower, the brother?
Yes. Yeah.
That sequence. So there's a dragon at that camp.
In like some palisade stake area.
Yeah.
Not like captured, but just like a little
like a parking, like a parking lot area, if you will. Yeah. Whose dragon is that?
He's the the one Hightower son.
Alicent's youngest son. Okay.
Because he was the one that got sent away to go to Hightower Land in like season 1 or something.
Yeah.
Before like the time, like before most of the time jumps. He's technically a valid heir to the throne after his brothers.
Right. Okay.
He went to go
confirm that.
He basically went to Hightower boot camp. Hightower.
Yeah.
prep school, we'll call it, and he happens to have a dragon. I don't think we've gotten any explanation on that. He just probably was sent an
Happens to have
egg
one.
and it became
Yeah.
his dragon, and yeah, he's got at least a little dragon.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to confirm. That's who I thought it was. I just wasn't 100% because I don't remember them really ever talking about this dragon in any
That was
capacity.
that was one of those things that like slipped in like at some point in season 2, and we even then I remember we were like, wait, who has a dragon where now? Because
Yeah.
we
You
were
know what? You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were
I do
doing
remember
the
us.
counting of like, dragon. That was back when the dragon count was a little bit more even before we had a bunch
Right.
of dragon deaths. And we're like, who is this now that has a dragon? Like everyone just has dragons these days. So yeah, that was yeah. I think I kind of completely I kind of forgot that they had that dragon there and that was his. Because there's the scenes of the Hightower army will eventually roll up. But yeah, I mean the Hightower army is holding there near somewhere near not High Garden. Well, there is High Garden going on there's some High Garden action in this versus Old Town, which is where the Hightowers are from.
Correct. Yeah.
Right, but High Garden's kind of on the way between there and the Red Keep.
Yeah.
Then we have Cole being a dirtbag.
Oh, dude, I hate him just as much now. Now he's like, instead of being like, you know how he was like super annoying and we just hated his guts through most of season 2 and even a little bit of season 1. Yeah. Now he's just like checked out. Like he doesn't even care. He's like painting his shield. They're like, hey,
death is all about us, or like he's just saying these like really just dumb like
one-liners. Yeah.
Everything just sucks. So what's the
he's
the big
like
deal?
Super edgelording it up right now. Super sad Cole.
Yeah, super edgelord got an army Cole.
Well, and I think it was really, he's been bred to be the soldier, but this war, and he says it, I think in season 2, like we've given the war to the dragons. Like he's like, I basically have no purpose here. Like I'm just cannon fodder for these dragons. So I think he's feeling a little sad for himself because he doesn't get to be a cool soldier.
Yeah, because the Riverlands is interesting because we have Cole and crew kind of camped out and moving around, kind of just like because they're coming back from the Vagar, Aegon, Rhaena showdown where Rhaena dies, Elder Rhaena.
Yeah.
And that's where he really got kind of bummed out. He's like, yeah, once you kind of see dragons just kind of like melt armor. Not sure what we're doing here. So yeah, he's just being very emotional after that, and they're kind of like on the run a little bit. And that's the whole thing. They're supposed to be meeting up with Aemond, even whoever is he a Lannister? Who is he? He has a Hightower that was like, dude, like we can't be raping village girls.
Yeah.
That was another Hightower, I think.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, Jace, winding back, Jace met up with, I believe here, Roddy the Ruin, the Winter Wolves. Got some Northerners on board here.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really good. So like Daemon, killing some Lannisters there. They had a battle with the Lannisters. And then, they're just kind of slaying them out in the field at cleanup crew. And I like that conversation where he was like, oh yeah. He's like, my dragon can just like burn them all real quick. We just got to keep moving here. Like, he's like, Riverlands need to, they've returned to the mud. Damon's just like, my dragon was burn them all and we can keep moving.
So I don't know if you picked up on this at all, but right when he says that, what's his dragon's name? Caraxes?
Yeah.
Caraxes. In the background just starts torching stuff.
Torching.
Yeah. So it's like that dragon rider connection they have is what I picked up.
They have
it's like a total throwaway. Yeah, it's like a total throwaway. If you might have not even seen it. It's just blurry Caraxes in the background while he's talking. Just as soon as he says that, start torching. He's like, oh, sweet. Dad said I could have a snack, so I'm gonna eat.
I don't even
real
think
quick.
like he didn't even hear him. Like he just knows.
You
He's
just
just
know. That's what I'm
like
saying. Yeah.
spirit animal. Like
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are probably the most spirit bound pair
Oh, for sure.
out of
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like, yeah, that dragon just knows how he ticks and like what he can. Like it's like, yeah, I probably should just be burning these bodies
Yeah.
because he's over there just like slaying these half alive ones
Yeah.
anyways.
So I also love that when we have this little standoff in the woods, which was kind of like, it was kind of cool the way they did it because they didn't know who was coming up. But during that scene, I don't know if you, I had to go back and watch it because I thought I caught it and I meant to go back and watch it. Do they have lions there? I think there's a guy killing a lion on the ground.
When we pan into that scene, he's finishing off a lion.
Okay,
so
that's
the
what
Lannisters
I thought.
have lions, much like how the in Game of Thrones they had wolves fighting with them. So it's like, yeah, and I mean that's my favorite line of the episode is, you know, at the end there, and he like throws in the Lannister head. He's like, let's go hunt some lions. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Like,
yeah, dude. It was perfect.
We're here to help you hunt lions.
Those are Northerners that came and killed him, right? So that was even that might have been a little bit of fan service there. Maybe that's how it happens in the book, but it was nice to see the Northerners take
Dude's
out the
name
Lannisters.
is Roddy the Ruin.
Yeah.
Of the Winter Wolves, and came here to die for the Dragon Queen and hunt Lannisters, hunt lions. And I just love, like, I love Lannisters, but also like I love people that don't like Lannisters, and like I love how much people hate the Lannisters just through the ages. Even though Thailand is like there's a lot of redeemable Lannisters and they have their things to like about them, but at the same time, like Thailand's just like an early version of Tywin, and
we have like preconceived notions on the Lannisters, right?
Yeah,
there would have to be a lot of work done to get us to side with the Lannisters, just from coming from Game of Thrones. Although they even really kind of did it in Game, like we were siding with Jaime in a lot of stuff in the later seasons of Game of Thrones. So
exactly,
but
I just
that's what I think this universe does so good is making you love the bad guys. You know what I mean? And making you question the good guys sometimes.
Yeah. I just like that the Northerners just like to kill themselves some Lannisters and vice versa. They just bad blood there. Yeah, and then you know, back to they call them the dragon seeds, right? So Hugh Hammer, Ulf the White, and Adam of Hull. Which I was thinking about this in that episode. I'm like, wait, are they of water? If they're bastards of the sea, but it's of hull because they're like a hull of a ship. So you're not sand, you're sand, you're snow, and a hull if you are a bastard of the sea.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I don't think we knew that yet.
Yeah, because I was like, because when Alan was talking to his Corlys, I was like, wait a second, you're a bastard. So is your last name like Water? John, Jon Snow, Alan Water. But it's Hull, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
So
you got the best bastard last name for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, they're just like that's a cool little like sub thing too, because we visit them a few times and they're in the woods around Harrenhal and they're just kind of lurking, waiting for Vhagar to show up. But Alice Rivers is like, they see like the goat man for like a second up on the hill when he's like taking a shit and like something creeps up on him. He gets freaked out. And then like he looks back when he runs to the other guys. There's like the goat man. Did you see him?
Okay. So that was a goat man, correct?
Yes. That was a goat man.
Okay.
And we saw those. Damon saw those in
a vision
in season 2.
Yeah. So.
And then Alice Rivers shows up and she's like, they're like, who are you? And she's like, I'm a witch. I'm like, dude, this lady's so creepy.
She's so creepy. Yeah. She was creepy last season too. So if I remember right, what are the goat people called? I think they are like protectors of the trees.
Yeah,
Like their job is to protect the trees. Is that right?
something like that. They're just more of the
the weirwood trees specifically.
yeah, the woodsy magical creatures that
Okay.
exist in
Yeah.
this world.
So normally I watch every episode twice before we do this. That I didn't get a chance to this one. And there were a couple scenes I wanted to go back to it, but I thought like at first I was like, is that just like a dude with a big headdress on? But that's like a legit goat dude. Like I think he has goat legs.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're
yeah.
freaky, and I don't even know if they're real.
Also true. Yeah, who knows?
Like, as it's all has to do with this Alice Rivers like voodoo witch lady around Harrenhal. Yeah, I don't know what her end game is there with them, but that was all creepy and weird. But yeah, Ulf the White, he wants something to do with it.
Yeah,
he's freaked out.
I can't blame him. I would have had the same reaction. Like he's clearly not coming. There's goat people watching us. We should probably leave.
Yeah, but yeah, Damon's on the hunt. He's definitely on the move for sure. Yeah. Sharako. She died. I thought that was good. That was a good death to have.
Very happy. Very happy about that one.
Yeah, so her...
I was a little worried about Corlys, to be honest with you.
I think Corlys is good.
Yeah.
He's going to survive. I think
he's been through it. He's been through it, you know?
Poor guy. I liked her plan, though. Like, sink his castle, attack his navy, all that jazz. Like, she has the right approach, but with only one thing in mind, and that's taking him out.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we expect Aemon to go to Harrenhal. I don't know if we're going to... There's a battle between Aemon and Daemon coming up. I don't know if it's this season or not, but it's got to be soon because they've been building that up for a long time.
Right.
That showdown. And Aemon just, he's just psychologically avoiding it. Like you think he's all about it, but that dude don't want it.
No, I don't think he does. Yeah, he talks a mean game. He talks a mean game, but he doesn't want to do it.
Talks a mean game. Got a big dragon, but yeah, Daemon, terrifying uncle, who is about it. He's that uncle at Thanksgiving. He's like the Navy SEAL uncle at Thanksgiving that will tell you a story and then might like put a knife to you.
Yeah.
It's like if you mess with him, like you don't mess with him. So dang, we're gonna get the finale next episode of season 2. Is that how we have to think about it?
I think that's what we're doing. Which is interesting because we'll be able to tell. We're going to be able to tell if this feels like this would have been the finale, and then or episode 3 feels like a first episode of a season. But the problem I have is there's no good way to go about this now, because this either pushes us back 2 episodes or we're cutting 2 episodes out to hit that 8 episode mark this season.
Well, I think it'll be interesting if I would like to think that they've rewritten a little bit. Like, I feel like this one might be the least touched episode because the way it was all set up. I could see the next 2 playing out a little bit differently. Like, season 2, this is where it gets weird. It's like, I think episode 2 here might definitely be more posturing, more like traveling, things like that. Because usually that's where Game of Thrones likes to park us on a finale. Yep. So if it is like that, I'm going to say they left it very intact.
Yeah.
And episode 1 of season 3 would be them like right off the jump taking King's Landing.
Yeah.
Now, if they push if she takes King's Landing right away, which I don't think if the episode's long, they can fit both parts in there where it's like her grieving and being upset about Jace dying, and then they just roll out and takes King's Landing.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I could see that happening because I feel like they wouldn't have ended season 3 with her taking it. maybe like the whole like Danny like sailing over the sea end of season 5 or whatever, but not like actually taking the city. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they kind of play the next 2 episodes, because we know that has to happen very quickly, because a big part of the season is her sucking at being
yeah,
a ruler here
yeah,
in shitty King's Landing.
yeah. I mean, there's a good chance that she doesn't have her emotional reaction to Jace dying is screw this, we're going to take King's Landing. Like, I'm not going to keep doing this and losing all my children and all my dragons and all my power. We're just going to go take it right now. Like, screw these naval battles, screw these little skirmishes here or there, because we're even though I think the Blacks won this battle in the Gullet here, they did get some killing blows to the power by losing a dragon, you know.
Triarchy's
losing a lot of
apart.
ships. Yeah.
Yeah, the Greens, they did not really secure the Triarchy. Like, that was kind of like a fumble. Tylan needs to show up somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, Corlys is alive. Alan's alive. More of that whole situation still intact. It's just really messed up. But it's beside the point if Rhaenyra jumps on a dragon and goes to King's Landing. You really don't need a blockade anymore.
Right.
So yeah, I would net win. I guess we can do that for every episode here. Net win for green or black. I would give it to the Blacks on this one. Because they technically are +1 dragon, -1 dragon. Sheep stealer.
True. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So they kind of even out. Yeah.
Net wash on dragons. And then greens are unchanged. But yeah, they definitely set the tone here where we're gonna be dropping our family, second rank family members really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If anyone thought Jace was safe, nope, not safe.
Not safe. Yeah. Maybe we undershot our 3 major deaths. We already got 1 major death in the first episode, so might be getting a lot more than that. And we don't know. I mean, I assume that Corlys is alive, right?
I assume it too.
But it's just assumed, correct? Like, we didn't see him die. Like, they're certainly going to show him dying if he did.
I think if you watch the next episode cut, I think it shows
teaser. It does show him in the water. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's fine. That dude, I think, has survived more shipwrecks than not. He might have a skill for just falling in the water and being like, "Yep, out of here."
Yeah,
I'll swim it up at somewhere else. Yeah. Then we can't forget Massaria and Rhaenyra are having a love affair.
Right.
So there's always that. All kinds of little threads that are still out there, but still no Mr. Hightower. Otto's MIA, but he's going to show up here sooner than not.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, dude. Like, I know we're only in the first episode here, but where's my boy Otto? Like, come on, man. He was missing for a good chunk of the second season. Like, bring my boy back.
Well, another indication that they left episode 2 here unchanged is the finale for season 2 is if Otto shows up.
Otto shows up in the finale. Yeah.
Because that would because in season 2 we're like, why did we not get Otto coming back? Because that would be the right beat. Yeah. So if he shows up in season 2, in episode 2, that's a good indication that is the finale.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I think it makes just reading that and then thinking back, I had to go back and rewatch the episode, but thinking about the episode, I'm like, yeah, dude, this had penultimate written all over it. It's a major battle. I don't think there's ever been a major battle in the first episode of any of these shows, right? They're always in the episode 9, episode 7, whatever ranking we're going off of. But yeah, I think as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, it makes so much more sense. It was cooler when I was watching it. And I was like, dude, this is like, they're starting the season off like this is crazy. But now knowing that this is like HBO squeezing the penny, and this is why it happened. But it worked out.
Yeah, by the time you get to the end of it, you kind of realize it's like, oh, this is all the stuff that's right off the back of season 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes the wind out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever. however they want to break it up, it's all the same story.
Yep.
Who dies next?
Oh man, I don't know. I think that if I was gonna put my money on someone, I think it's definitely got to be one of one of Damon's daughters. It seems like the most logical person to die. But then at the same time, like we're hitting Team Black a lot, so maybe not. You know, maybe not.
Yeah, right. And yeah, I don't know what the future holds for Sheep Stealer and Reyna, because it's like, where does she go after this? Does she like park the dragon at Dragonstone, and like that's just a mess? Can she tame and get that thing under control, or is it just going to take her back to the Vale and it's going to be like, yeah, we're just going to eat sheep?
Yeah, dude. First off, I thought for whatever reason, I find the dragons just adorable in some scenes, and that was freaking adorable. Like it swallowed 2 sheep, puked it back up, lit it on fire, and threw it to her. Like, here you go.
I mean, that would be still
like,
pretty
cool.
Good food. I mean,
yeah, if you're starving, I guess. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, the fire, right?
Fire
it cooks
roasted,
it
man.
and gets rid of all the grossness kind of from it.
Yep.
You're hungry, you're hungry. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to pan out long term for all of them.
Yeah,
I would like to say Cole dies. Damon
I
needs
would
to kill Cole.
love if Cole would die, but I think he's going to be around for a while.
He's just existed like in this shallow, empty hole for so long. He's just like kind of attached to the story, and he's just at this point he's really just there, especially now that he's just moping in the woods about being a soldier. I hope Damon gives him a soldier's death and just like cleans him out like one blow, like right through the throat or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting. You're onto something, because they did fight at the tournament, remember? And
Mm-hmm.
Cole came out on top at the tournament, so it would be kind of a fitting end for Damon to get his revenge from the tournament. And I love Damon, and I hate Cole, so I'm Team Damon on that fight all day.
Yeah, I don't know what Damon's like. Is he going to take an L at any point here? Like, I don't know. He doesn't really lose.
He doesn't.
He doesn't lose fights. He loses like
the palace intrigue stuff.
Yeah, he kind of sucks really bad at that stuff. Like that's usually where he takes his losses. But give him a sword and put him out in the field, like
he's good.
He's cleaning house.
Yeah,
but he does. But he does end up with Rhaenyra in the Red Keep, because they show scenes of them kind of like cleaning house. Like he's just kind of like the sword to her.
Yeah,
and they're just kind of rolling through, just cleaning house there. So he's got to make it there. They're hunting Lannisters out in the Riverlands.
A lot of moving parts. Yep.
Yeah. Aemon's going to like dodge that bullet somehow. But I can't imagine Vhagar goes anywhere without being like unseen.
Right.
Not sure. Looking forward to it, though. I'm happy it's back on.
Yeah, me too, man. This episode, I was like, oh yeah, I'm back, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, my wife was like, oh, good Father's Day for you. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, we're right back at it.
Yeah, it was not only Father's Day, it was also my birthday too. It came out.
Oh, happy birthday.
Day. Yeah, thanks.
Wow.
I was super excited. I was like, yes, House of the Dragons coming out on my birthday.
And it was a great episode.
Yeah.
No punches pulled.
Yep.
Season 2 is done. Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe after next episode.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anything you want to add here?
Nope. I think we're good.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week for coverage on episode 2 of season 3. Not much going on in the Showboys world. This is our first stint back since Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We'll see if Mike and Dad can conjure something up.
Yeah.
A lot of life events going on here at the Showboys, and according to Mike, if they'd put out TV worth covering, they'd come out with something. So I don't know. we're just going to become the Westeros boys.
Yeah.
At this point.
With all the spin-offs we have in production currently, that's a good possibility.
Yeah, what I read is definitely two of those I think are animes. Aegon's Conquest, and then
is Aegon's Conquest? I heard that was going to be a movie, like a live action movie. Maybe it was an animated movie.
They didn't specify. I remember them jumping around on that one though. There's
I know
10,000 ship one that
Corlys's I think is going to be animated.
That is the confirmed animated one. That'll be good. That's
and
good.
Then there's that would be really cool. And then there is a
Vinland Saga style.
Vinland Saga. Oh yeah, that would be real sick. And then there's like not an unconfirmed animated, but what they're doing is unconfirmed. Another animated thing. Fingers crossed for Robert's Rebellion. That would be so sick. You could bring back the original voice actors. It'd be awesome. You should do it. But I won't get my hopes up.
You mustn't. Just take what you can get. All right. With that, we're out. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.